try not to stare too hard at their shame.
I want to die.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 times anime characters hit rock bottom. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at heroes and villains in anime who fell off the bandwagon called life and found it pretty difficult to get back on. Prepare yourselves for all kinds of self-loathing spoilers ahead.
You're not gonna die. I don't care what it takes.
Number 10, Hei the Hobo. Darker than black, Gemini of the Meteor. What happened to you, man? You used to be the coolest guy on the block. A masked vigilante armed with a wired knife and contractor abilities, Hei was able to give any foe a deadly shock to the system like some kind of Chinese electric Batman.
I guess you should have listened to your buddy.
All in all, the Black Reaper was one of the slickest characters to enter the modern anime scene. At least, until the second season, where he became a drunk hobo with a penchant for groping underage girls. This isn't so much a fall from grace as it is pure character assassination. Sorry, Hei, you deserved so much more. Number 9, Bleeding Heart Tsukiyama, Tokyo Ghoul Re. Once upon a time, this ghoul was the pinnacle of fashion and foodies, who eventually became obsessed with devouring the likes of Kaneki after becoming entranced by his scent.
The sheer ravishing elation.
Following on from Kaneki's supposed death, Tsukiyama ended up burning out pretty hard.
Damn you! What do you worthless fools take me for? I am a gourmet.
Bedridden and barely speaking to anyone for the longest time, he only started to return to his former splendor once he got wind that Kaneki was indeed alive and well, albeit supporting CCG's colors these days.
Miss Heartbreak.
Jeez, from the way he took it, you'd think he'd been dumped as opposed to losing a meal ticket.
We'll spend the day together catching up, Kaneki dear. It's been too long. Let's make up for lost time.
Number 8, Sayaka goes full witch, Puella Magi Madoka Magica. And this is why you never sell your soul for the boy you have a crush on.
Shutting out the pain's pretty easy once you know how to do it. This way I'll never lose another fight.
While initially enjoying her time as a magical girl, Sayaka's world slowly starts to crumble when the young man she risked it all for starts falling for a classmate instead. Throw in the revelation that all magical girls are essentially husks, and it all becomes a bit too much for Sayaka to bear.
I was stupid. So stupid.
After her soul gem becomes corrupted with despair, she ends up transforming into a powerful witch, one that isn't shy about crushing the rest of her friends to death.
What the hell? What are you?
Number 7, Later Buddy, Gurren Lagann. It's no secret that Simon thought the world of Kamina. He was his idol, not to mention the one who managed to rally humanity together in order to fight back against the tyrannical Lord Genome until his demise.
Later, buddy.
As you can imagine, losing him to the war was just too much for Simon to handle.
Dude, not now. I'm exhausted. Bro.
Shutting himself off from the rest of Daiguren, Simon surrounds himself with statues he made of his bro. If not for the timely intervention of Nia, whose brutal honesty manages to bring him back from the brink, Team Daiguren may have lost their most capable pilot.
Just who the hell do you think I am? I'm Simon. I'm not my bro. I'm me!
Number 6, The Death of Ace, One Piece. Not gonna lie, this one hurt. The only person more precious to the Straw Hat Captain than his crew was his blood brother Ace, a fiery pirate in his own right who eventually found himself on the executioner's block. In spite of launching a full-scale assault into the heart of the Navy HQ and managing to free Ace from his binds, Luffy was unable to save his brother from the vicious Admiral Akainu, plunging a magma-soaked fist through his torso. This emotionally cripples Luffy beyond reason, to the point where he's left frozen in a stupor. Pretty sure most of the fans were left the same way. Number 5, Forced Labor. Kaiji against all rules. For a man like Kaiji, finding the bottom of the barrel is actually a rather impressive feat. After all, he's already gotten himself into astronomical debt, cut off his own ear, and got his fingers taken off by a guillotine. How much further can he sink? Well, apparently he can become a prisoner in a forced labor camp. Held against his will until he clears his debt, Kaiji is forced to work until his body all but gives out. All the while, the senior staff continually tempt him into spending his earnings on frivolous items to dash his chances of seeing freedom. Number 4, the end of the Fourth Holy Grail War. Fate Zero. Kiritsugu employed some pretty despicable tactics to ensure that he would be the one to win this particular war, with kidnapping, blackmail, and assassination being all par of the course. The ultimate endgame, using the Holy Grail's power to save the world and end conflict once and for all. The Grail turns out to be something of a prick. Not only does it force him to kill off realistic hallucinations of his own wife and daughter, but in the end, all his desire ends up doing is causing a calamity that cost hundreds of people their lives. How's that champion of justice thing working out for you, Kiritsugu? Number 3, Shinji's happy time. The end of Evangelion. Look, Shinji, we can sympathize that you've been through more than your fair share of crap. However, just because your dad is the world's biggest douche and is forcing you to pilot a living mecha against unknown threats, and is isolating you from all forms of love, and making you continue to fight even as the people you do care about end up dead, it still doesn't give you the excuse to randomly jerk off over the comatose body of the girl you like. That's just inappropriate.
I'm so f***ed up.
Number 2, losing Mayuri. Steins Gate. Okabe was already a little unhinged given his whole stance as a mad scientist. However, that has nothing on the breakdown he has when his childhood friend was gunned down right before his eyes.
For FB. For...
Refusing to let her die, Okabe begins to make multiple jumps back in time in order to prevent her death, but each and every attempt ends up with some other phenomena killing off Mayuri. Upon slowly realizing that her fate might be set in stone, the mad scientist starts to succumb to some pretty intense grief.
I'm the reason that Mayuri...
Number 1, Hasegawa, the ultimate Madao, Gintama. Guess this is what you get when you become a recurring extra in this show. While he originally held a position as a high-ranking government worker, Hasegawa eventually found himself unemployed thanks to becoming involved in Gintoki's usual antics. Unfortunately for him, he never recovered. Seriously, for over 300 episodes, all this guy has managed to accomplish is digging a bigger hole for himself. By this point, we're not sure what he has left to lose in terms of possessions and dignity, but we're sure he'll find a way. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.